So me and my spouse were having a real interesting conversation this weekend, and he was like, share with your co-host. As I did. I'm like, well, let's bring it to the podcast. Men's modesty views. It's interesting to me that there's some men who prefer for their spouse, their wife, their girlfriend, their lover, to be dressed so modestly, but will go cheat with somebody wearing less, will do everything to destroy your self-esteem about you having your stomach out. But every time you turn your neck, you're looking at every woman with her stomach out, but you can't do it. And of course, me and him have these like real deep dive conversations, but I said, I want to know what y'all's opinions are because I have very deep opinions about it.
Okay.
So you tell me what y'all think first.
Junior, you going first?
I think that the women who want to be attached to a man have a dress code, and the women who are not attached to a man have another dress code. And it's really that simple. If you're attached to a man, you represent him, you're a reflection of him. And so just because I'm looking at a woman that has her ass out and her stomach out, it doesn't mean I want her attached to me. Okay. I'm a man, I'm gonna look, but at the same time, will I ever claim her, collect her, protect her, provide for her? Probably not, because that dress code says she's not attached to a man in most settings. Not all settings, but in most settings, that's a single dress code, right? And I think the same thing applies to men. Like, I think we have a dress code. You know, I used to have a girl.
How y'all look single?
Well, I was just about to say it. No, I was just about to go there. I always provide an example. I always do. I used to have a girlfriend that didn't like me having my chest out. I had some shirts that had buttons. Yeah, I had
Miami.
So I used to have some shirts that had buttons that went down to like the stomach area, and you could see my chest with the shirt on. And she would watch me putting it on. She would be like, they ain't seeing all that. And so I have a dress code too because I'm attached to a woman. I had certain things that, you know, of course I'm a man. I could have been like, man, fuck, I'm going. Yeah. But because I respect my partner, I put a polo on, something with some buttons or something like that, you know? And so, yeah, like I think there's dress codes for how we want to present ourselves and what we're, you know, and what we do and who we are. But that's how I feel. I don't expect all men to feel that way.
Okay. No.
Okay, interesting. I've heard that before where he said, you know, women dress a certain way and men look at it as a certain way. Me personally, I don't care. Like,
agreed.
I'm like, either you are comfortable and you are confident enough and you will allow your woman to wear, of course, maybe with some, you know, small, like.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
but some small what?
Like, okay, you're not coming out the house.
That's what we're talking about. What the something small is.
Okay,
that's what we're talking about. So you admit that there is some type of code.
There is some type of code, but
because I think what we're dealing with is some women think there's no code at all. Like some women think like, oh, I wear what I want. It doesn't matter what my man thinks, and. You're saying that there is even if it's a small code.
There's the small.
It feels good to hear a woman say that, man.
It's a small.
It feels good to hear.
I'm like, I feel like now I just.
See, boy, we supposed to be on my side for once.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side. But you know what, Bree? And being that you are married, I've never seen you. I mean, to my knowledge, I ain't never seen you looking like you're not married. So
I mean, at the end of the day, people go to pay.
That was probably before she was married.
People go to they go and they pay for their body to look like mine. Being married or not, I'm not going to stop being who I am because you feel uncomfortable. Exactly. I'm lucky to be married to a man who's not insecure at all. Y'all know.
And I don't think you would have married him.
I wouldn't have married him.
Yeah, I don't think.
He's going to encourage it. Why don't you wear it? Why hide it? I mean, I was bad before you met me. I'm going to be bad after. I'm going to be your bad wife.
Exactly.
But I mean, I understand. I definitely understand, and I know it's not appropriate for everyone and everyone's relationship. But it's interesting to me when I see people, especially when they have husbands that are so vocal about it, but he can't keep his eyes to himself, can't keep his hands to himself, can't keep his dick to himself. But you want your wife to wear, she can't leave the house unless her shirt is covering her pants.
And I want to speak on that. If you're a man that has infidelity issues, you are not included in this conversation because you haven't even established the standard of decency in your own relationship.
Exactly.
So we're not talking to you.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, if you have a problem being faithful to the woman you chose, we're not talking to you. But if you have established a standard of decency in your relationship, then yeah, you have a say so. Absolutely.
Yes. So I was really interested to see y'all's thoughts for that.
I was in a relationship before where, Nubia, you cannot do this. You are in a relationship. You cannot wear the cleavage or anything. I don't ever wear shorts because I don't feel comfortable. But cleavage, yeah, I got cute tops. Okay, I got cute tops. Okay, so I've been there before, but then now, like, I don't have no restrictions. I'm allowed to be myself.
Absolutely.
You know, but I guess it's more of like a woman, you respect your man, then you are going to, everything ain't for everybody.
There's a lot of things you can do in a relationship. Does it mean you should do them and they're healthy?
No.
Not really. And I think a lot of, and men do this too. This is not just women.
Yeah.
Men have this thing where they feel like coming to a relationship, they're giving up a part of their like, you know,
part of themselves.
They're giving up like I guess like a part of their like
Their manhood.
yeah, or not even
their
that, like
pride.
their fun or their activity, but. You don't get in you don't get in a relationship until you're ready to do that because you are going to sacrifice. Yeah. There's no. I think people keep trying to create this relationship where there's not sacrifice.
That
you will always sacrifice something for a relationship, and that's how you know if you're supposed to be there. If you're comfortable sacrificing it.
I say, well, I will never sacrifice being a nun because your self-esteem is lower because you.
Who said it? You don't have to be a nun, and that's another thing. Like
I'm just speaking to the ones that are
like. It either has to be left or right. No, there's a very sexy middle ground.
Agreed.
I've seen women wear clothing that is sexy and not revealing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So I mean, it's not even like we're saying you have to be a nun. Yeah. We're just saying that like there's a dress code for every type of activity, and sometimes the dress code needs to match who you are.
110%. That I can agree with.
Yeah. And if you're single in a relationship, boo.
And like the last thing I'll say about it too, because like I think another thing too, I heard a really good analogy. People dress up for interviews.
Yep.
People dress up for functions. People dress up. So dress up for your relationship.
Every time.
Because that's a relationship is a business that never closes.
Yeah.
So dress up for your business.
Yeah.
If you walking around as, you know, you a head honcho of your relationship and you walking around looking like you don't have one, that can be a problem.
Absolutely.
That can eventually be a problem.
Absolutely.
You know,
so. Hey, my husband like Bernice Burgos, and I'm going to look like her every chance I get.
She got a nice body, though.
Don't she? Real. To be so old.
She like 49. Yeah, I was about to say, she like 49.
Sexy grandma.
The first time I heard her talk, I was like, yeah, you got some miles.
She good, though.
She Caribbean.
She's not.
They different when they Caribbean.
Well, man.